Hi, I'm Stephen, Director of Sales at Bellwether Exterior Renovation and Design. Today we're going to talk about the pros and cons of vinyl siding. So the pros of vinyl siding, if there are any, are that it's fairly affordable, it's an easy install, and they do make pre-finished products. So the color is built right into the vinyl. The cons are vinyl is plastic and it's thermoplastic. So it is subjected to expansion and contraction in a very considerable way. The polyvinyl resins deteriorate due to sun exposure, and they can become very brittle over time. And that built-in color will start to fade. It gets chalky, and so when you brush up against it, you'll actually get this chalky residue that forms, and that attracts mold and other bacteria onto the vinyl, so that when you see things growing on vinyl siding, which it does happen, it's not actually growing on the vinyl, it's growing on the chalky residue that is forming on the vinyl siding as a result of sun exposure. And then the other thing is it becomes very brittle as it starts to break down. So it doesn't take very long, sometimes 5 to 7 years before that vinyl siding gets brittle, and then it's susceptible to hail. You can just bump into it and break it. If anything gets launched at it, like a rock from a mower, it'll get cracked. Weed whackers chip the base of the wall. So, and you can't change the color with vinyl. So, big no-no, don't paint vinyl. You can go on the internet and say, how can I paint my vinyl siding? That is not a thing. If you paint your vinyl siding, and especially if you do it in Colorado, where we're about 14 feet away from the sun, it is going to warp the vinyl off the wall. So we sometimes get a lot of calls about vinyl trim flying off in the wind. That's not actually vinyl trim. That's a trim coil wrap around a piece of wood. And the wind will lift the edges of that trim and will actually bend it back, sometimes over and in front of your window. And we don't make a natural trim connection up against the window frame. It's something called a piece of J-channel. And that vinyl siding is tucked into the J-channel. And it can actually pop out because it's a thermoplastic material. It can get a little bit warped and it can start to pop out from that J-channel. And that J-channel is your only protection back to the substrate for moisture infiltration. Frequently in new construction where vinyl is installed, they don't install window flashing properly or house wrap. And now that J-channel is actually channeling water to your substrate and causing water damage behind the wall. So I'm hesitant to recommend vinyl siding, even though it can be an affordable solution.